Yeah, that's marsh grass.
Yeah, yeah,
I stopped
That's
at a
when
couple.
they make those baskets and all that stuff. They do.
yeah, yeah.
I stopped in Texas I was gonna buy a hat. Man, I'm looking at these hats. I'm like, there's no way I'm spending $800 for a hat. And I can go home and make one.
Well, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there it is. I
Yeah.
won't be buying one.
Excellent.
I'm gonna try one of those felt ones though, where you steam it. I'm gonna try to do one of those too.
Like a crusher.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you can buy the blank. I think they're like $100 for the blank. So I think I'm gonna try it. You get my steamer out and see if I can do it.
Yeah, there's a couple of the couple guys that I kind of somewhat follow on Facebook, and that's what they do hats and stuff like that. And they,
Yeah.
you
Those guys are
watch them
sweet.
steam them, and they've got the thing where they can, where they set set the size and all that,
Yep.
and then they can, if you want the crown or if you want the drop down and all that, and they'll flip it over, and they got the little thing to cut the brim, and like I said, they've got all the fancy tools. But then again, if you're making $900,000 hats, and the big,
Yep.
they knock them right out.
Yeah, those guys are pretty sweet too, man. They're doing nice jobs. Yep.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yep. So you see any cars down there, Ray?
Mm, no, it's actually cold. It's in the 30s right now. Last
Is
week
it?
it was in the 70s, and I saw like one car out on the road. Yeah, people. I think they hibernate. I mean, I don't care. It's cold as long as it's dry. It's car weather.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen one motorcycle. I mean, they're different. I think that the locals get scared. I don't know. So yeah, I really haven't seen any nice cars. I mean, there's a truck up the block from my daughter's house, a C10, a square body. I've been watching now for a couple of years. I keep telling them, if you see a sign go on that thing, go take it off and just tell them, call me. I'm coming to pick it up.
In good shape, huh?
Beautiful, yeah, really nice shape, really nice. It's that kind of like that medium, like that firethorn blue color. That a million of them were. It's already been lowered, and the guy's got some aftermarket wheels on it, but it looks original. Otherwise, I can't see under the hood, obviously. But
What you do is you start sending him a postcard every couple of weeks or every month.
yeah, and it's been sitting there now for 2 years that I've been coming down, so I'm watching it.
It hasn't moved?
No, the same basketball is stuck underneath it. It just sits in one spot on the driveway, and that's it.
Oh, that's
So
sick.
I told my son-in-law, I said, well, either the guy, maybe he got it and he plans on working on it and he hasn't gotten to it, or maybe he inherited it and he's waiting for another day. I said, there's 100 stories. Why? I said, maybe he just doesn't have the money. I don't know.
Yeah.
There was 3 other vehicles in the driveway, trucks and cars, so it's not like he's walking. But yeah, keep my eye on it.
Ray, you can always do what that guy did. It was on what's his name, Graveyard Cars, where he
Mark.
handed him his business card and he had like a $50 or $100 bill stapled to it. And he goes,
Yeah.
"This way you won't. I'm serious, and you won't lose if like the guy ended up buying like 2 or no, that's right. He had a Superbird, and they found one that was original, and they wanted it for his son. So to show the guy that they were serious, he stapled like a $50 or $100 bill to his business card, and he goes, when you're ready, you name your price and we'll buy the car.
Wow.
And he goes, I'm just going to leave it at that. You know what it is. We know what it is.
Yeah.
When you want to sell it, you name your price and we'll buy it.
Right.
And eventually he did.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Yeah. Well, Ray, you got the money. Go ahead and staple a C note.
Yeah, a little C note on there. Yeah. Then they got to move.
Yeah.
Not my luck. Like, where'd that car go? How come the house is empty?
Ray, is it good cake? Is the cake good?
It is. It's very good. It's very good. And I got a key lime pie waiting for. You know why? We went to a place called Burton's. It's a really good restaurant, and my wife ordered a steak. She ordered a filet mignon, and I told her, I said, you got to learn. She orders it medium well. She likes it to be pinkish red.
Medium.
and it came well done.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, so she called the guy over. He says, well, we'll send it back. She's like, don't even bother. Everybody else has their dinners. It'll take too long. So the manager comes over, of course. No, we'll make you new. And she's like, listen, forget it. It's like they're going to be done with theirs. Just don't worry about it. He goes, all right, listen. He goes, I'll tell you what. Well, I'm sorry. He goes, I'd like to give you some, desserts on me. So all right. So I got these 2 desserts that we took home, but I told her, listen, we got to go to a steakhouse. You just got to get a steak at a steakhouse.
Mm-hmm.
They know how to make it.
Yep.
So it was disappointing for her, but what are you gonna do? But I did get a bourbon drink. It was a bourbon old fashioned, and I tell you, man, I don't know. They don't make drinks like New York. So it was a rocks glass, and it had one of those big giant ice cubes in the middle, which pisses me off because that's displacing my liquor factor in there. And it was maybe not even 2/3 of the way up the ice with the bourbon old fashioned. I was like, if I took that ice out of there, I'd be looking at maybe. That's like when I go order like a triple at $16 a pop. It's like, dude, come on. I mean, by me, I'll tell them, I'll order a drink. I'll get a rocks glass. It'll be almost full. It'll be more than 3/4 full.
Unfortunate, Ray. There's too many of those places that measure their shots.
Yeah.
When they do a drink, they measure them, and there you go. That's your drink.
Last night we went to a Mexican place, Zapata's. Very, very good. Very, very authentic Mexican. And I got their jumbo margarita. So it was in one of those thick, the glass was like a 1/2 inch thick. The glass itself had to weigh freaking 5 pounds. That was a lot of margarita. So I finished it. And I said, I'm telling myself, about now that buzz should be kicking in. This margarita should be, no. It's like, I got the jumbo version here. It's like I'm not even catching a buzz. Like what the? I don't know. I don't know if it's just down here or. I know at home we drink a lot better.
Professionals.
Yeah, well, we get what we pay for at least. If I'm going to pay $16 for a rocks glass, I'm getting you're getting at least a double out of it, or
Right.
more so, yeah. So yeah, but anyway, the food is good, so yeah.
So Ray, I'm probably going over to Barrett Jackson. So if you see any cars or heard of anything, let me know. And I'll shoot some pictures of it or video it.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. When's the auction?
Starts Saturday.
Steve Magnante is going to be back because I follow his YouTube channel. He's been doing a junkyard crawl up in Massachusetts, and he said, I'm going to be back at Barrett Jackson in January. I'll be back on the block. He goes, it'll be a lot better being on a stage than walking across leaves and twigs and sticks in a junkyard. He goes, I like the truth. He goes, I like the junkyard better. He goes, but they're going to pay me. So he'll be back at Barrett Jackson. That'll be good to see.
Nice.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, I got to get him back on the show.
It's a lucky man, Ray.
Oh yes, he is. Yeah,
because I had an uncle who I'd never met, who had the same issue to what was it, the same thing that he had, the same medical condition, not emphysema.
No, I don't remember what it was called.
It's when they said it, when I heard, when the guys from Roadkill and all that started talking about how he was sick and this and that and the other, and they all chipped in and started doing episodes for his channel just to try to drive some traffic.
Yeah.
When they said what had happened to him, that kind of clicked into what had happened to my uncle. And when that happened to my uncle, it pretty much messed him up to the point that mentally he was no more than about a 6 or 7 year old.
Yeah, you could. I was following Steve all along, and he did get it was like when my partner Joe had a stroke. I mean, you see the guy that who's fluent and witty and quick, and now it's like you got like half of him, and he's trying. You can tell he's trying, and through no fault of his own, he just isn't there. And Steve, Steve had the same impairment. I said, man, you don't know how permanent that's going to be. He luckily is much better. He's he misses a little bit of a half a step now and again with the junkyard thing, but I know he has a guy giving him cues off to the side, helping him out a little bit. But he did bounce back remarkably well, I got to say.
Well, look at that fella from Pennsylvania, Fetterman.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Look at the difference of what some time and some rehab and some work with Fetterman, because
Yeah,
when
he was
when
brilliant.
that happened with him, he was
He used to be a Democrat.
well, he still kind of
No, but
technically is.
he's a lot better now. He's a lot better.
But
Yeah.
as far as his speech and stuff like that, he was. I mean, you could tell, and he was. But now he is a lot better, a lot more clear, a lot
Right.
more focused,
Mhm.
and it's just like, dude, is it the same guy? And it's like, oh yeah, it's like I said, he seems
Is
to
the
be.
cruel to hope all the other Democrats have strokes? Just asking for a friend, okay?
Yeah, just asking for a friend. Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, I tell you, I've been telling a lot of people now, just tonight even, I talked about this show and a radio show, and I was giving them like the whole recap in like, in 10 minutes. So I went back to the beginning and how I started and all, and I was telling them about Lou and John, and I said, man, there was some nights where we had some shows where between the two of those guys, I said, when politics was involved, oh my God, I'm surprised we didn't get booted off the air. Because it was no holds barred and it was ugly sometimes. I mean, I was scared for John a couple times. I thought he was going to actually get a visit. And I said, yeah, but we survived. Yeah, we survived it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's funny.
So Coach Isaac hit us in the chat. Somebody tried to steal his car at school, and
Really?
they couldn't drive a stick, so they messed up.
Nice.
The best theft deterrent is a stick shift.
Yeah.
Summit has a new line of shirts out now. One of them is, it's a picture of a stick shift. It's a millennial theft device. I think that's going to be one I'm going to buy.
Yep.
I like that one.
Well, I bet you he's turned sideways. Somebody tried to steal his car. That sucks.
Yep.
Lewis, I was telling Ray, I was coming back from a couple weeks back, and I'm cruising down 95, literally just outside, just before you get to the St. Johns River there in Jacksonville, and I see this convertible red E-Type on the back of a rollback, and I'm like, I love an E-Type. That is, I agree with Enzo. Because Enzo Ferrari's quote was, "That's the most beautiful car that's ever was as an E-Type Jag."
Mhm.
I remember when I lived in Florida, and Moroso Motorsports Park it's what it was back then. Not sure what it was. They used to have, because not only would they do drag racing, but they had a road course set up, and they would teach Skip Barber. Skip Barber had his school there, and they would do some racing and stuff like that. And I remember I was telling Ray on the back of a little MGB or MGBT or something, the guy had painted on the back of this car, Lucas Electronics, world's best anti-theft.
The Prince of Darkness.
Mhm.
Riding with the Prince of Darkness. I saw that sticker once.
It was like, because you either love it or you hate it, or you can work on them or you can't.
They even sold a jar that said, spare smoke. You pour the smoke back in after it lets out of your fuse box.
Did you ever hear about the Lucas vacuum cleaner?
No, Jim.
It's the one product they made that didn't suck.
That didn't suck. Right? Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Brian, keep it down. You're making too much noise over there.
Yep, I'm trying.
Oh, man.
Anything new on the Mustang?
Do I?
Have you done anything new on the Mustang?
No. I got after the last week or so, it's been kind of difficult, so I haven't done really much of anything.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I'd like to try to work on some this weekend, but we'll see what happens.
So, Brian, we were talking a couple of weeks ago. No, I'm done. About the, about tool guys, and I don't remember how our exact conversation went, but I remember we were talking about, just what it takes these days to be on a route. And I think I probably had part of this conversation with someone offline, so I'm just transposing it. But I found out when I was down at the shop I pick up the rental car by the shop, and my buddy tells me, "Hey, guess what?" He says, "What's this guy's name?" Snap-on guy. He goes, "He's done. He retired again. He's out." I'm like, "What? Really?" Now this was a guy who was a route guy, and then he for many years, and they brought him to the dark side. He went into corporate. He became, I don't know exactly what he did. Whatever those guys do is what he was doing. And then he left corporate and came back on as a route guy. And that's when I met him. And he knew his stuff because he had been a route guy earlier, but he just didn't have the drive. He wasn't like he wasn't like into it fresh, like, oh man, I'm finally a Snap-on guy. I got my, yeah, it's like he was just working until he was going to retire again. So he never really pushed anything, and he wasn't really excited about anything. I mean, he was a good enough guy, but I remember, I had a couple of problems. Like a few years ago, I bought some of the new plier sets, and one of them started rusting on one side of the pliers. And I brought it back and I said, "Hey, dude, these things are starting to rust." Like, he was out. "Did you oil them?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, I hit them with with WD-40 and all." "Well, it's because you're keeping them in a bad environment here." I'm like, "No, I have these at home." I said, "And yeah, granted, they're in a garage outside, but they're in my toolbox." I said, "My tools at the shop are new." I said, "None of my other tools did this." I said, "Just these new pliers." It took them like 4 weeks to get me a replacement pair of pliers. I was like, "Really?" So, he wasn't the most dynamic guy, but now I hear he's out. And then I said, "Okay, well, who's the new guy?" And he says, "No, he must be related to the Matt guy." He says, "Because no new guy has shown up yet." and the Matco guy who they really liked, stopped showing up. The Matt guy is the only tool guy that shows up now. And the Matco guy loved that shop in Limbrook because the Matco guy was a younger guy, and he would have one or two girls with him, and they were all Spanish. So, and the guys in the body shop side, they were all Spanish, all of them. And they were buying, now those guys who were buying Harbor Freight were buying Matco. Because they'd go on the truck and everybody, it was like a fiesta. Everybody's hooping it up and hollering. And then, of course, they're checking out the girls. And I'm sure if the guy was smart, he was having the girls, "Would you like to buy this range?" I guess. I don't know. I never got to see it firsthand, but I'm sure. And now they said the Matco guy stopped showing up. I'm like, damn, that's odd. So it's happening everywhere. That's the takeaway. It's not just,
No.
it's everywhere.
I got a question. Brian, I had a question. So I watched the video the other day about Harbor Freight and how they're starting to change things. Do you think that's affecting the tool trucks at all? Do you think they're...
Well, I mean, they're to a point. I mean, the bottom line, the tool truck isn't really a tool truck. It's all about service. It's
Right.
about, it never fails because, somebody will say, well, I get this from, I have one guy, he buys all kinds of stuff off Amazon. He has all this stuff delivered. It breaks 2 weeks later. It all sits there. I mean, the amount of money that he spends.
Bless you.
That was a good one.
Oh, two.
Zoom tight.
Bless you.
The amount of money that guy spends double because he buys the stuff. And I just tell him, I said, I know I was $50 more, but, if you have a problem, it's taken care of. You have another one, you're back. I said, when are you going to find time to take that stuff back or to go through and try to set? And it's still sitting there. It's now been, a month later, and he's got all that stuff sitting there. He finally bought it from me. And, a lot of times it's hard for people to understand that service because they sit there and say, oh, I can get it cheaper from there. Well, go get it. But when they have a problem, they're paying double. And
Well, that's what I was
you
telling
know, it
people.
always, huh?
That's what I'm telling people about solar equipment. Like you can buy the Victron solar equipment off Amazon, but you don't have nobody to call if something happens, or tech support
Right.
or any of that. And you
And,
only
you
have
know,
30 days
and-
to return it.
Right. And I mean, like I said, some guys, and you know, like I said, I tell them all the time, if it's, and I got it. I mean, I've got stuff from other places. I don't use it every day. It was once in a blue moon or something that I
Right.
need. I don't have a problem with, there's no reason to spend a couple $100 for it if you only use it once in a blue moon. You don't have to
Yeah.
rely on it. But certain tools that you rely on, I had a guy with a wrench set, wrenches. I mean, he bought some cheap ass pair of wrenches and did nothing but he spent more time fixing rounded out bolts and nuts and not getting stuff off. And I just said, well, this is something you use every day. You got to spend a little bit of money and get a good quality wrench. And so I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't even know what to think or to expect anymore. It's day by day.
Yeah.
It's a weird market.
But Brian,
And it
you
doesn't
hit
even matter. Half the stuff is all bought up by one person, sold by one person, and rebranded to everybody else. It's all the same.
Mm-hmm.
But Brian,
So-
you hit it on the head as far as why, at least I was particular about the guys that I bought stuff off of, the tool trucks, when I was in the trade, because I was, when I first was, had my ASC and was doing all that stuff, I bought nothing but Snap-on. Everything I was Snap-on. Everything I bought was Snap-on. And as Keith is here, that was my Snap-on man. That was my first Snap-on. That was his first. That was his name, Keith. Well, Keith retired. So when Snap-on did their thing, and here comes the new guy that's got that route now, I had a question about something. So he came in, handing out his cards. Hey, I Keith retired and all. I said, yeah, we know Keith. We know he retired. So here I'm taking his route and all this, that, and the other. And I was like, as a matter of fact, I do have a question. So I said, give me 1 second. Let me go grab it. So, and it was a creeper. I was going to see if he could get me. I kept having trouble with the wheel, where the stud comes up, and it had almost like a, not like a Zerk, but a,
It had like a spring clip lock, right?
what it was,
It had
the
two
nut,
pieces that slipped in.
or the, it was when they had first come out with the drop chassis and the offset wheels in the centers. When they first came out with the 6-wheel creepers instead of the old school, just 4 in the corners. Because of me being as small as I am, I liked the drop down because it gave me a little bit more room if I had to go underneath. But the caster kept coming loose, and I would try to snug up the cap like a captured nut, because it had the stud to come through the frame rail. So I was going to ask him if they had a better way or could get me another set of wheels. I come around the corner and I had the creeper in my hand, and immediately he started screaming, "No warranty on creepers! No warranty!" I'm like, dude, time out. I've got a question. I didn't say I had a problem. I had a question. No warranty on creepers. No, I don't warranty. Dude, again, I have a question. I didn't say I had a problem. I had a question. So me and him started oil and water, and it wasn't but about 2 or 3 weeks later that I called Snap-on, got an RGA, and I went, I'm going to keep this, I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to keep this. I'm going to, pay those off. I want RGAs for the rest of this stuff. I'm not going to deal with him.
Yeah.
Most guys shoot himself in the foot because they, like I said, they automatically. That's what the same thing happened to the one Mac guy that started, and we got a new Cornwall guy, and we'll see what happens because they they get bombarded, and they don't look. I mean, it's hard to look at. It's hard to take the warranty because again, you're not getting money back. I mean, you paid the money for the tool, and you send it into the company, and they give you a credit. So you have. It is kind of hard up front to realize that you're not getting money. You're getting this credit. You just got to know how to spend your money correctly. It's how you buy the tool, not how you sold the tool. Where if you buy it correctly, you can make money.
But my thing is coming from a customer service oriented background that just really whizzed me off. You have a question and all of a sudden they get defensive. It's like, dude, you don't even know what I'm going to ask you.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's tough.
Yep. Hey guys, I gotta jump off early. So Ray, you have control of the button.
I got the con.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do my car show tomorrow, and I'll put some pictures up on Facebook, and I'll let you know what's going on at Barrett Jackson. Hopefully, I'll get some good footage.
Excellent.
Which day going to Barrett Jackson?
I'm not sure. I'm waiting on Frank to get back to me to see what day he's going, so I can try to coordinate with some people.
There's an 84 Hurst Olds there.
Oh yeah,
Yep, running on Saturday.
yeah. I'll definitely shoot that because I'm an old guy.
Yeah, that's why I figured I'd tell you about it. There's also another. There's an old Cutlass. Like a 70.
I don't know.
77. Oh, there's two 77s.
Oh yeah,
Anyway, they look
Yeah.
nice.
it's gonna be exciting to be able to go there and not have to work. See, anytime I ever went there, it was I was taking cars. I was working.
I gotta tell you something before you go. So, Meekum is come out it's this week, and then this weekend's the last days.
Mhm.
So you mentioned about doing media for I don't remember what SEMA and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I sent Meekum. I said, yeah, I want to do media, and they said, what's your website? And this, I gave them my YouTube and everything like that. And I go, all right, how many tickets do you need? I'm like, oh, okay, give me 2 tickets.
Nice.
So I got a media pass. I don't know what that means, but I got a
They
media
will.
pass for
They'll ask you to. They'll ask you to share all of your posted. Anything you put online, they'll want you to share it with them.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I sent Justin this right here. This is on Saturday. On Saturday.
Ooh, Lincoln.
The Lincoln.
Not the electric one.
No, I don't know. I just
No.
Nice.
it was low to the ground, man. That thing is badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that at the auction? One of the auctions?
Yeah, Barrett Jackson. It's on a
Barrett
super Saturday. It said
Oh, it'll be a high dollar. Saturday, high
Black
dollar.
Stallion. That's what they
I
call
did.
it.
I did see a video somewhere, and I didn't know this, but if you want your car on a certain day, you can pay to have it on a certain. I didn't know that. Like, wow. So you could be on Super Saturday if you kick up enough. I don't know what it costs, but
It said it was lot 1407 Black Stallion.
wow.
There's a couple.
Ray, when they talk
Powered
about
by a
solar
Coyote,
premium,
so it can't be electric.
No. No.
Ray, they talk about sellers premiums. They don't tell you how much they are.
Right.
Oh, yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Full
Big
custom
dollars.
Yeah, it's what,
Lewis, I'll
10%
take a couple
buyer,
pictures
80%
of that
seller?
stuff and I'll shoot it off to you and let you kind of see if you can work with me.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right, guys. Have a good week, and I'll see you guys next week.
Okay, Lewis.
Okay, Lewis.
See you later.
All right.
All right.
Sounds
later.
good.
Yes.
As it sunk
Yeah,
in
they're
there,
having
Ray.
the Batmobile too for going up on auction. 75. Yeah, 75 Lincoln Continental Mark IV custom coupe.
Yeah, it's okay. That's further away from original.
It's not the original.
Yeah.
But some guys still want it for their collection. They want it in the, it was a Halo car in their garage. So,
I mean, it kind of looks like the old Batmobile.
yeah.
Oh, it's got big fat tires on it. I don't think
Yeah.
Fat tires.
It's a modernized version.
Yeah.
I tell you, I was just watching with my son-in-law. You know, he's got a he's got a Samsung TV, so he watches all the Samsung channels, and he goes, "Yeah, take the," because I never get to watch TV when I'm away. You know, my wife has a TV. I'm watching YouTube on a computer, so I'm like, okay. So I grab the thing and I go to the channel guide, and one of the
25,
first
25.
who?
25, Motor Trend.
Oh no, I didn't even get that far. One of the first things I saw on the guy, 'cause he was watching Hell's Kitchen, was Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Correct.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was
And I
Joel.
was like,
That was
oh!
a great show.
So I put it on, and he's like, "You like this?" I said, "Dude, I grew up watching this." I said, "I used to watch it in the 70s. It was black and white on like Channel 9. It was on midnight." I said, "But I watched it back then, and then I didn't see it again for like 40 years." And he says, "Well, you know, it came back, and we found out that it came back in like 2017, 18." I said, "Yeah, that's probably about right," because I caught it on cable somewhere, watched it again, and said, "Man, this is just as fun as it ever was." I said, "Now I lost it again, but now I know it's living on Samsung TV." I tell you, I watched 3 of those movies tonight while we were over there. I just left it, and everybody came in and they were sitting there like, "What the hell are you watching?" I'm like, "Mystery Science Theater 3000. No, don't worry." I said, "You know what? Because if you don't get it, you don't get it, and I know that nobody else gets it. So just give me my time here."
Yeah.
It's, and you know, it's funny because I had a commercial for Monty Python, The Life of Brian, and I was telling him, I said, "You know, it's just like Monty Python. You either get it or you don't. You either like it or you hate it, and that's just the way it is." You know.
Yep.
Yep.
So
I like the one,
I-
whichever. I don't remember which one it was, but he's like, just have this one more wafer. And the guy's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh, all right. It just blows up.
The fat bastard. I
Big
couldn't
fat guy.
eat another bite. No, it's just wafer thin. It's just a wafer thin. All right. Blah, blah. And they're getting buckets. Bring me a bucket.
Everybody's disgusting.
Oh my God. Yeah. Terrible. But so it's so I just bonded with my son-in-law over crappy TV. Yeah, that's okay. That's all right.
Yeah.
Oh, good God. Man, oh, Manischewitz, I don't know. So, yeah, I didn't expect it to be cold in the South. I tell you that much. I really didn't. And I didn't.
Yeah,
The warmest thing I brought was a new flannel they got me for Christmas that has like a little bit of a fleece lining. I didn't bring a jacket. You know, I didn't bring a sweatshirt. I didn't bring it. That's the warmest thing I brought. Because I figured, you know what? I always pack too much. I'm gonna pare it down. I'm not gonna be an idiot. I'm not gonna carry more. Well, I should have brought a jacket with me.
Yeah, the
There you
temperature
go.
dropped
Thir-
here.
yeah.
It's at
Yeah,
33. Yeah, it's
You see
so,
the
yeah,
other
it's
part of it?
45 where I am.
I can't read the other part,
Oh,
but I know here they're talking about like a sleet or something or freezing rain on Saturday. So where are we? Come on. Okay, here we go. In Charlotte.
Jeez,
Wow, look at that.
27.
There you
We're
go.
20.
Warmer up here.
I know.
Ours is 33, feels like 22.
Yeah, this feels like it feels like 27. Yeah, it's and it was weird because when we rolled in last week. I rolled
Here
into
you
it
want
being-
ours. Ours is 20 here, feels like 4.
Oh, geez.
What the heck?
Man, we rolled in here last Saturday as even in the rain, it was 70 degrees at 9:30 at night. I'm like, oh, I can live with this. This is great. And then it was like in the 50s and the 40s and the 30s. And the other day it was like in the low 40s in the morning. It was kind of cool. But then at night, once the sun went down, it was up in the 50s. I'm like, this is the weirdest weather in the world. It got warmer and then it got colder again overnight. I'm like, what the hell? How do they do it down here? I don't know. It's crazy. But whatever. Then again, the other supermarket has a wine bar, so you can sit and they actually have a bartender and a wine bar, and they do in the supermarket. So,
Well, I was about to say there's a chain. I believe they're out of Winston-Salem. It's Lowe's grocery store,
yeah, they just opened one down in South Carolina. Yeah,
and I had 2 or 3 of them in Charleston, in that area where I was at. They've got the same thing. They've got beer. You can go in there and have craft beers and beer. I'm a lager. If I'm going to drink a beer, I like a lager. I don't like ales, stouts, pills. I don't like all that stuff. Just give me an old fashioned. Just give me a lager, and I'm good.
This chain is called Harris Teeter.
Yep.
And that's how I know I'm in a good town, because they have a Harris Teeter. It's like having a King Cullen, Jim. It's like, it's it's a little more expensive than the other stores, so like it's not in the poor towns.
Still have
So-
King Cullen up
It's
there?
a glorified. It's a
No.
glorified Safeway or Albertson.
And-
That's who owns them. That's who owns them.
Oh, do they? I don't know, but it's a
Yeah,
beautiful
that's who
store.
owns Harris Teeter's Albertson.
In this area in Mecklenburg County, they're all
Yeah.
over the place. And
Yeah,
and the first time I saw it, like this, you go in, you walk into produce, big expansive produce and all the flowers, and the next aisle over is like a double aisle wide, and it's wine, a full 2 aisles. They got Childress wine, Proud, right up there in the front. I mean, it's like, wow, wine in the supermarket, because you got to go to ABC store for liquor, and you can buy wine in the supermarket. And the prices are actually pretty damn good. And they have a very good selection. I almost wish I was a wine drinker. They don't have Muscatel, so I'm out. No Thunderbird, so yeah.
The liquor store here in our county is merging with another store. So they're closing each of the liquor stores down, the county
wow.
stores,
Mhm.
50% off on
Yeah.
alcohol.
Nice.
Instead of just moving it to the new place, they're building
Yeah.
that rush. And it's funny because I went up there and they had the old lady in the shopping cart with the 19 bottles of whatever liquor, bouncing around
Right.
in these carts and so forth. And
You should go in and see if you can. You should see if you can put some screwdriver sets in there and have them sell some on consignment.
Oh, I tell you, they were in there, and like I said, 50% off. So I'm not going to lie, I walked out with a $150 bill, and that would have been over $300.
That's easy too. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Ray, I always used to like to go to the Harris Teeter and find that nice, fresh sourdough. Just have them slice that up and get a tub of that nice, maybe a little olive oil style butter.
Yeah.
Just
The thing.
slathered up, eat.
It was in the summer we came down. For some reason, I forgot. My wife wanted to get my daughter a jelly donut. So we're in Harris Teeter, and we go in the bakery area down by produce. And I looked, and all the donuts, everything was just. It looked like someone took a trowel and slathered white icing like this thick over everything. I'm like, damn, they are serious about their sugar down here.
Jeez.
It's like, oh my God.
Harris Teeter actually sells Laird products, the coffee and stuff I like to drink, and I've got Coach Isaac is found out there where he's at.
Yeah.
It's that's usually where when I go back to Charleston for whatever, I'll stop by there and get some of their products.
So my niece, who's in Charleston, has told me they can get here to Mecklenburg County faster than I can get from Mecklenburg County over to Raleigh. And I guess it's got to be the way the road runs. I don't know. I know.
Because it's almost a straight shot. If you're in Charleston and you're going to up there, you pretty much go to you get on 26 and go up to Columbia, grab 77. It exits 116 or 115, and 77 goes right straight into.
Right. That's how I come in from the local. Yeah, I was amazed at that. So I guess when we're down here, we'll be making some Charleston trips. That's for sure.
Well, if you do that way, if you guys get that way, please let me know.
Yeah, eventually we will. Yeah, because we haven't seen them. Well, they were up by us, but we haven't been by them in a while.
What was it I owed you? Was it a bottle of vodka or a bottle of gin?
Spirits are spirits. It could be a bottle of smoke. I don't know. I'll put it back in the fuse box.
You know what? If there's a place in Charleston called Mex One, and they do like a Baja style shrimp taco or fish tacos, shrimp tacos. They're really good. I'll buy you and Mrs. Ray because I won't have to twist my ex's arm too bad to get her to go. because she likes eating there too. So
Oh yeah.
really good stuff. But it's that Baja style, you know, shrimp, fish tacos and that stuff like that. I like going there if I'm in town.
Yeah. Yeah, I was glad to find this Mexican joint last night because it was authentic. It was very, very tasty. Oh my God. It's nice.
I used to work for Snyder National,
Uh-huh.
which has got a terminal there in Charlotte, right there off 85.
Okay.
So I used to know a couple, because I was up there quite often. I used to know, like you said, they're authentic little Mexican joints. They're
yeah.
good, really good food.
Tell you, call places Zapatas. They're using a real name. They better be not fooling around. It's gotta be good stuff. But I did see this morning. I knew we were heading up to Concord to go to that antique mall, and I got an alert that there was a crash on 485. It was a pickup truck and a tractor trailer. So I'm reading the account, and on this Citizen app, they give you the account, and they'll give you like an audio clip of one of the responders, and they just keep updating it. So it said it was crash I-95, then it was pickup truck and tractor trailer, then it was EMTs responding trying to extricate tractor trailer pickup truck driver. The next one was pickup truck driver DOA. I'm like, yeah, no shit. It's like, I don't know what, and my mind goes like, what did this idiot do? Like, who was the idiot and which one did something totally stupid that got this guy killed? He might have done it to himself. Maybe he, ran in front of the, who knows?
Ray, too many of these idiots do not understand basic physics.
Oh, well, yeah.
Because if you're in a pickup truck, say you're in a 6,000 pound pickup truck, empty. My truck trailer, like I said, if I have like a 40-foot container, give or take, even if it's empty on the chassis and my truck, I'm still at 30,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Empty.
Yeah.
So, you're not going to win that 6,000 pounds versus 30,000 pounds.
I've been on Sunrise Highway by my house, which is just a regular highway. It's like many of the other roads around, like 17 in Mount Pleasant. And I was going to cut, I'm in the middle, going to cut across, and and a truck is coming, and I could hit it and go, but I wait. And I've actually had the truck, trucks going to go by, give me either a little blast on the horn or give me a little bit of a wave. It's like, thanks for avoiding the pucker moment here for when I was about to kill you. I was like, dude, it's all my pleasure because I get to live to go across the highway. That's how I look at it. It's like, yeah, I understand physics, and we're on the losing side of that battle.
I'll have to send you a picture. They had a guy last week. It was a driver. He was pulling a container. I can't remember if it was loaded or empty. He was futzing around in the truck, and he was on a I-16, and right at that point of I-16, it's got a little slight bend to the left. Well, he's over here futzing around. He goes straight. Rolled it over, truck, trailer, the whole night, rolled it over on its side, took out the interstate sign.
Oh.
All of this stuff is roads blocked, just blocked. Between the highway patrol and the locals, they basically, got in there and cordoned off where you couldn't even get onto the interstate because DOT and highway patrol and all them are out there trying to clean all this mess up. Come to find out, this idiot's looking for his TWIC card.
Wow.
And TWIC is an acronym for the Transportation Workers Identification Card. That's that's part of the credentialing that you have to go on the port, which is another no-brainer because the terminal that he was going to doesn't use the TWIC card anymore. It's all facial recognition.
Oh,
Okay.
jeez.
It's got a little box because I've being that I in this town and all. It's like this camera here. You have to literally go up to it and do that, and it'll accept it or back up, move closer, whatever to get it where it's happy. and then as long as it scans you, bing, it opens the gate and lets you in.
You know, when I was waiting for my wife and daughter in Target the other day, I was going through satellite channels. And I listened to, is it Big Dog Trucker Radio? Big Dog Radio? Is that the name of it? It's a trucker channel. It's I'll listen to it occasionally, and it's a call-in show. And this guy was talking about, he was throwing around acronyms. I didn't know what he was talking about, but he did say, for us guys who've been around a while, it's more of a nuisance to do the new stuff. He goes, but for these new kids, he goes, the new guy starting out now, he goes, in 20, 30 years, he goes, this is all he's going to know. This is like the new technology. And he was talking about that, the retina and the eye recognition. He says everything is going to be checked in and like that. He says, we'll be done, we'll be out and gone, but all the new guys, that'll be their, they're going to grow up with that, so to speak.
Yeah.
So let's see here. I think I can. Here we go.
I'm going to take off.
All right, Jim.
Oh, ooh.
So this was a shot on I-66. It wasn't. I didn't take it. This was somebody on Facebook. So that's how that guy ended up on the across the road.
And how in the hell did he do that?
Well, like I said, he was going in the direction we were going. So on the right, see, we got the right-hand arrows. I think he went to make the curve, and he must. I don't know, Vince. Can you do a 360 in a truck?
Yeah, anything is possible. You see that liquid stuff on the ground?
Well, yeah.
That adds a factor to it. I mean, when I first got my own truck, I was going somewhere bobtail. I had somebody kind of whip by in front of me. I jumped on the brakes. Next thing I knew, I'm looking the other direction.
Yeah.
Because when I hit the brakes, it locked up the drives and it spun me around literally that quick. It spun me around.
This is how he ended up. And of course, there's that gully, that ditch. Yep. But so they did bring in a big wrecker and they pulled him off. And then the exit was like not even a tenth of a mile. And as we passed it, we saw him off to the side, and I was like, man, I hope they're just like checking credentials and making sure this guy is legit, because that's like that's no fun.
That Ray is the more I look at it, that looks like he might have lost that.
Yeah.
But the thing that makes me wonder is those trucks and trailers that look like a relatively new 860 series Volvo. I know it's got anti-lock brakes on it. I mean, hell, my 05 had anti-lock brakes on it.
Don't know.
And the trailers are same thing. So,
yeah.
In all reality, he might have been doing something stupid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, take care, guys.
Okay,
All
Jim.
right,
Good night. Oh man. Yeah. So
we're still alive there, Big Ray.
Yeah, we can end this. Let's see now. Where's my it's a little different on this computer. It's not the same. Let me look for the boop, 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 boop. All right, so yeah, I guess we'll end this edition of Playing in Traffic, the abridged version. Next week I'm still going to be out because I'm not getting home till Sunday, so I'm going to put up another replay. Actually, I want to tell Lewis it's a replay. Well, we had Lewis on the radio show, and he was doing all his solar stuff. He was just getting into it. And,
with him and Tyler?
I don't remember if Tyler was on at the time with him or not. I don't know, but I know we were talking heavy about all the solar stuff. So I guess he was getting it all lined up. So that's going to be the replay for next Sunday, and then we'll be back live after that. I got that guy from Mike's Carburetor Parts, the guy I've been buying my carburetor stuff from. He finally got back to me after I bought like the 4th kit, and I said, hey, why don't you come on the show? I said, we're all working on this stuff. This is, obviously, I'm giving you business and I'd love to talk about it. And he said, yeah, I'd love to come on anytime. So I said, okay. I said, I'll get in touch with you when I get back and we'll set a date. So with that in mind, we'll be back here next Thursday, and we'll be listening to Signature Solar Talk Sunday on Motormouth Radio. So guys, for Keith and Brian and Vince and the recently left Jim and me, Ray, we'll be back next week with more Playing in Traffic. Fellas, you stay right where you get it, right where you want, right where you are. and let me end this. See ya.